तहे खैबर किसी में दम है तो आए मज़ार ज़हरा पर।
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. So, welcome to the episode 7 of our series on Baqee Cemetery and the Restoring Baqee campaign. And in the last episode, we talked about the restrictions that have been implemented on the Baqee Cemetery, especially when it comes to practicing one's faith. Today, I would like to talk about one important concept, especially as it is related to the consequences of not following the Sha'a'ir Allah, that is, the signs of Allah. So, today, we will explore the significance of Sha'a'ir Allah and ayah in the Quran and the relevance to the Baqi cemetery and using a story that waves these concepts together. So, let's picture this for a second. We are standing in the heart of Medina, gazing at the beautiful Prophet's mosque. We feel a deep connection to Allah, and we are reminded of the verses in the Quran where Allah mentions, and whoever honors the symbols of Allah, indeed it is from the piety of hearts. This mosque, the Prophet's mosque, like the pilgrimage of Karbala or the pilgrimage of Kaaba or visiting Kaaba during Hajj or Umrah, is an example of Shair Allah, the symbol of Allah, the sign of Allah that inspires piety and devotion, that reminds us of Allah's presence, that reminds us of the historical significance of these personalities, that reminds us of the journey that Hazrat Ibrahim took and what he did, or the journey of the Prophet, or the sacrifices of those devoted to Allah. And this reminds in then of Allah. So these are all Shair Allah. Now let's travel back in time to the days when Baqee Cemetery was a place where people remembered and venerated Allah. They saw the blessings, they experienced the blessings, and then they thanked Allah with the blessings of the four Imams alayhi salam from the progeny of the Prophet. This sacred site also served as a Shair Allah. Our beloved Imam Ali alayhi salam has said, know that you have to pass over the bridge of Sirat, so you must have a strong support to help you. This support comes from observing and honoring symbols of Allah. How? Because supporting and honoring and observing the symbols of Allah is equal to having taqwa. And when you have taqwa, you have strong support. In the Quran, Allah uses the term ayah to refer to his signs as well. In the story of Prophet Saleh alayhi salam, Allah sent a miraculous camel as an ayah, a sign for his people. Prophet Saleh warned them to respect the sign or face dire consequences. Yet, they killed the camel and destroyed the signs of Allah. Tragically, they faced the wrath of Allah for their actions. And not only the people who started the killing, or the people who killed the camel, or the people who ate the meat, or the people who were part of the village, but everyone who kept quiet on this injustice was part of the consequence. Now imagine the impact of Wahhabis destroying the signs of Allah at the Baqee cemetery while the entire Muslim world kept quiet 100 years ago. Some of them just kept quiet, others supported them, others were part of this destruction, regardless of what their faith and what their ideology was. Everyone was involved in some form, shape, or way. As a result, as Muslims, we've experienced a severe downfall over the past 100 years. Despite the wealth of oil and natural resources, the Muslim world today faces internal strife and a lack of barakah, which are likely a punishment for rejecting the signs of Allah. As believers, I request everyone that let's come together to remember, respect, and preserve the Sha'a'ir Allah. Let us strive to restore the dignity and sanctity of the Baqi Cemetery and other sacred sites in the Muslim world. Through our united efforts, we can bring about positive change, rekindle the connection to our faith and to Allah. And when I say the sacred sites. They have to be linked directly to Allah, not man-made sites, but sites that have been ordered to be set up by Allah, the divine sites. And the site of the graves of the four Imams, the symbol of Allah, are the Sha'a'ir Allah. Thank you for joining us on this 7th episode of our podcast series. We hope you will continue to support this campaign by sharing our message with your friends, family, and community members. Wassalamu alaikum. In the next few days, we will have another guest speaker talking about these aspects of Baqee Cemetery. Stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum.
रसन गले में पड़ी सब्र कर लिया मैंने, बतुल रोती रही सब्र कर लिया मैंने, ये हद है आग लगी सब्र कर लिया मैंने,
ये हद है आग लगी सब्र कर लिया मैंने,
मगर न आज बचेंगे तुम्हारे जिस्म पे सर,
किसी में दम है तो आए मज़ार